Well, one's just water. It's just regular water.
This is Don't Panic, episode number 340, recorded May 30th, 2022. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that's got the internet, it's got the gadgets, it's got the you, and of course it's got myself. I'm Sean Jennings, and I'm joined as always by a man who's so thirsty. It's Colby Rabideau. A real thirsty thirst trap, I think, as the kids call it. I don't know. Yeah,
that's what that is. That's a mouth, right? A thirst trap.
Yeah. Oh, your mouth is your thirst trap. Well, that sounds dirty when you say it that way.
I have regret.
Gross.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Sean, we should probably be the technology podcast that can't achieve greater than 66% attendance.
Hey, listen, it's better than zero. You know, I guess, two hosts is better. That's why, Matt's new podcast has 5 hosts, and I told him, I said, that's a lot of people, but at the same time, you can have a lot of absences and still do a show.
Right.
Like, you have no excuse to never do a show.
Something could always happen. That's kind of fun because
someone has to be available.
Right. And I bet there's going to be some, undiscovered pairings of people that, we've enumerated all possible versions of Don't Panic. Because there's only...
Yes!
A few. There's only 4.
Yes, and I will say, I actually do enjoy when we get to do the 2-person episodes, because it is a bit of a different conversation, different vibe, and I will say, people didn't listen last week to you and Dan. You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
It was an excellent show. You guys crushed it.
We did it. We almost panicked at the beginning when we realized no links were in the sheet. This has never happened before.
What, you think I was going to serve it up on a platter to you?
What the hell?
Sean has COVID. The least he could do is give us a rundown.
How hard
Actually,
could it
you guys
be?
filled out a better rundown than I normally do. So that was perfectly fine with me. No, I was going to say that I also watched Dan was on his company's live stream the other day. His company does, I guess, a weekly live stream, and he was on it. And I'm like, I think you and I should get a little credit for him being so great on virtual camera. I mean, he's done 340 of these episodes. We trained the man. He was a natural. He was a pro.
I made a couple weeks ago at work. I made a loom, explaining how to do something, and everyone was blown away by my on-camera composure. I didn't tell them that I recorded the loom 7 times. I did 7
They
takes.
don't need to know.
Right.
Should I mention we're live right now on our triple cast? I guess if anyone's watching. No. It's funny. I realized this the other day. So my dad likes to play cribbage virtually, and there's an app where you can play remotely against other people. And he said, "Oh, Sean, we should get on the phone sometime, and we'll talk and we'll play cribbage over the app." He's a big cribbage guy. I said, "Yeah, okay, maybe." And we tried it once. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. And the reason why is because the show has broken my ability to communicate with people, because if I'm talking to someone for a long span of time, I cannot let there be silences. Because I've been honed doing over 500 of these stupid things to fill dead air. You cannot let... And so I get uncomfortable when I'm in a long conversation, because he does it with my mother. He does this kind of the same thing with other people. They'll just be quiet and playing for a while and then might start saying something. I have to constantly be talking. And it's really, after 10 minutes, I have nothing left to talk about. My brain is broken.
That sounds hard. We have at work, at the end of meetings, once there's been 7 seconds of no one saying anything, the meeting's over. Maybe we need that for life, too. It's just, okay, later. Click.
That would not be the worst idea. Yeah. So, no, it's good to be back. 3 consecutive Mondays with bold excuses for me. So, I've definitely missed being here.
Monday. How was your event?
Yeah, well, let's go through my 3 Mondays in a row, because actually all might be interesting. You stop me if they're not. But my very first Monday was our company's national sales meeting, And so I was locked in a hotel for basically a week, and not a good one, a mediocre one.
Was it in, like, Connecticut somewhere?
It was in beautiful Springfield, Mass. It was right around the corner. I had to, like, sneak in. It was like 15 minutes from my house, but we had an extra room, so I stayed at the hotel all week.
I was going to say, Sean, like, did you tell your company you live there? They didn't have to buy you a hotel.
No, well, you know, it's one of those, and honestly, they don't like doing that for the locals, but I will tell you, I essentially run the event from, like, a logistics perspective. I run it. So I'm the first person there every day and the last person to leave every day. And so if anyone should stay, and I did kind of feel bad, but we legitimately paid for a room we weren't going to use. So I said, fuck it, I'm staying. And then the hotel gave me a very nice gift basket full of beer because I gave them $50,000 to run this event. So they were very nice to me.
You chose the hotel. Nice.
I did. So they like me there. But it was a great event. You know, my from a technology perspective, it was interesting. So and it's part of my pick this week, actually, some of the equipment I use. But I bought, like, all kinds of AV equipment. So I had, like, 4 computers all linked up, a sound mixer, a video mixer. I was live streaming it. I was sat behind my little control desk all week while the various presentations and activities were going on. That was kind of the ball. So it was a lot of fun. They shouldn't have given me a corporate credit card. That was a big mistake.
That's awesome.
So that was great. I actually was out. I traveled out to Eastern Mass, not quite as far as Boston, but I stopped in such great towns as Uxbridge, North Grafton, Sharon, and one more for some lumberyard visits. So that was pretty cool. Drove by Foxborough Gillette Stadium.
Uxbridge is right next to the town I grew up in.
Yes, Uxbridge, very, very nice town.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice town. Nice lumberyard there. I have to say that because they buy a lot of our products. No, they are very nice. So it was just a busy, nonstop week. I was literally changed to the hotel all week, and then so it was like 60 to 80 people I was incredibly close contact with. Handshaking's back. I'm just going to say it actually really never left, but everyone's shaking hands. Everyone wants close personal contact for some insane reason. Mm-hmm. So I was very close to a lot of people, many of whom flew in from all over the country. And Colby, would it surprise you to learn that I got COVID?
Shocking.
Yes, isn't it? Yeah, definitely a huge bummer. So we were actually supposed to see one another in person, and unfortunately I started to feel quite poor. I'm actually glad I canceled. I didn't even know I had COVID when I canceled. I was just under the weather and then ended up testing positive.
Right.
And you tested positive as well.
Right. Well, interestingly, I feel like part of the cancellation snowball was me canceling because I tested positive for COVID even though I didn't feel bad at all.
Yep. And I just felt bad and was like, I can see this coming. Like, honestly, if it hadn't been for the sales meeting, I probably would have said, just a little cold or something, but the fact that I was around all those people, I said, I guarantee you, it's way too high of a risk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's maybe it's tapering off now, but it seemed to be going around for real.
Yeah, well, you know, it definitely is, for sure. And I think people are a little more chill. I mean, there were no masks at the event or really no social distancing, so it's pretty much a classic event.
Classic event.
And then
they are back.
So they are back. People want to be face-to-face for some insane reason. I do not get it. So that following Monday, I had COVID. Felt very bad, so I didn't do the show. And then the week after that, Colby, I helped run a focus group. Have you ever been in a focus group?
I've never been in a focus group. I've been the focus of some like user research ones, or like actually it was at Spotify. They were doing a focus group, and the lady who was running the focus group wanted to like test it on some people. So I was a focus group beta tester,
mock participant.
Yeah, but it wasn't a group. It was like just her and I talking about stuff in a room,
walking you through the concept and
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even remember what it was about. It was about music. But, like...
Should we stream music? Let me ask Colby.
Right. No. Shut it down.
Oh, Colby said it. It's got to be true.
Everybody go home.
No, I love user testing and focus grouping, these sorts of things, but this was the first time I'd ever done like an in-person focus group. So, we make hardware products. It's top secret, actually. I can't talk about what we're testing. But we brought a bunch of contractors into a hotel out in beautiful Framingham, where, recovering from COVID, I had to slog out to. And we literally did that thing where we set up 2 rooms right next to each other. One was the room where the contractors came in, learned about the product, tried it out. But the other room was the secret listening room, and this is where all the AV stuff came in, where I had I literally had GoPros stuck to the walls, I had cameras, everyone was mic'd up, and I had my mixer. See, this is fun for me. And I literally ran all kinds of cables and all kinds of stuff, and so next door everyone had headphones and a projector watching the live feed and could hear it. And I could tell the person doing the interview, like if they had questions or follow-up, or they were... And I also live streamed it over Teams, but it was absolutely fascinating to sit there and watch these guys learn, see the new product, ask questions, and then, creepy spy on them.
That was... So when you said focus group, the first thing I was going to ask is if you had, like, one-way glass where you were watching them. It's like, that's what they do.
That's the real way to do it.
Right.
Yes. And there is... I did visit a facility that does, like, user testing full-time, and they did have the one-way glass. They had, like, that eye-tracking technology that a lot of websites use for testing.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know about this? It's awesome, where they watch where they look on the page. They had that. They had all kinds of technology. No, this was just a hotel we rented, and I jerry-rigged a secret listening room.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was fun. It was different.
This raises an important question, Sean. Are there other places besides Massachusetts where, like, half of the towns end in ham?
Well, that's why they call us the ham state.
The ham state. You got Framingham. You got Deadham. You got Hingham. Rentham.
Okay, here you go. Here's an article. Why do so many Massachusetts town names end with ham? Would you like the answer?
Of course I do.
According to this article from the wonderful WGBH out in Boston, there are 19 Massachusetts cities and towns that either end in ham or and according to this, every Massachusetts city and town with ham in its name has a counterpart in England. Ham essentially means village or home.
Oh.
So when you say something like Stoneham, the people who came over here were from the village Stone, but they called it Stoneham because it was like the home.
Oh, interesting.
It's the same with counties like Hampden and Hampshire. It says when you have Hampton, that's not the same ham. That actually means hometown, Hampton. Hampshire, home county. Shire is a county.
Wow. That's crazy. Who knew? I just always thought it was weird.
I would love to see if there's a list. Town names ending in ham. Oh, this is nationwide. Because I would love to see how many there are. Oh, here we go. Largest ham suffix cities: Birmingham, Markham, Nottingham, Durham, North Carolina, Birmingham, Alabama. Let's see, where's the highest Massachusetts town? Framingham, number 14. Waltham.
Classic.
Where else is Dedham? Is it Needham? That's not right.
I mean, it's. I think people would say Needham.
Needham.
Like Dedham.
It just doesn't sound right when you say it. Hingham.
Needham is my favorite one. That's the best one.
Rainham. I haven't even heard of some of these. Rentham.
Yeah.
Strange place. Strange place.
You know.
The ham state. Absolutely.
I'm going to call it that from now on.
Well, it should be Massachusetts ham.
Right. Massaham.
Because the state name isn't long enough. You need a couple letters on the end. Massachusetts him.
Right. We should be a ham instead of a commonwealth.
The ham of Massachusetts. That can't be right. That can't be right. Well, it's like we talked about this before. In New York, there's a lot of kill, fish kill, cats kill, kill meaning creek or stream or small rivers. Right. So there's a lot of dumb stuff like that.
Is that like a German thing? Like who calls streams kills?
That's a really good question. What is a kill, and why does New York have so many of them? It's Dutch.
Oh,
it's
nice.
From the Middle Dutch kill, K-I-L-L-E, meaning riverbed or water channel. The term is used in areas of Dutch influence in the Delaware and Hudson Valleys and other areas of the former New Netherland colony of Dutch America.
Nice.
Spackenkill. That's a good one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Spackenkill.
Weird. Spackenkill.
Well, now I have to Google the worst town names in America. Would you like to know some of the worst town names in America?
Absolutely.
According to this article from shortlist.com, how about Spunky Puddle, Ohio?
That's rough.
That doesn't sound... These may be made up. I don't know. Booger Hole, West Virginia?
Should I type them into Google Maps?
You might be put on a watch list if you do that. Goobertown, Arkansas? That can't be right. Come on. Frankenstein, Missouri? Pig, Kentucky? Slaughterville, Oklahoma?
Booger Hole, Pennsylvania didn't come up.
Oh, boy.
Slaughterville, Oklahoma is real.
PP Township, Ohio? Sweet Lips, Tennessee? McCool Junction, Nebraska? Buttsville, New Jersey? Founded by, according to this, Michael Robert Butts.
This says there's also a Buttsville, Missouri.
It's a popular name.
This changes a lot of things for me.
You looking to move?
I mean, if I was going to move to New Jersey, which I'm not.
That would be a good way to do it. Dead Horse, Alaska. Nowhere, Colorado.
Wow.
What an amazing place we live in. Colby, what's new with you, my friend?
Just, living life. We planted some tomatoes.
Keeping it real, as the kids say?
Yeah.
Oh, tomato. What kind of tomatoes? Tell me all about this.
We planted some big tomatoes, like red ones.
Oh, classic big red tomato.
Yep. And then we planted some honey drop tomatoes, which are like cherry tomato size, but they're yellow, and they taste really good.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's happening. They haven't died yet. We have to put up some fence around them, because once there are tomatoes, they'll, like, critters come for them.
Disappear?
They descend upon them. I don't think we have as many tomatoes as Matt Mariani does, but...
No, and actually, you know what, we should do a gardening follow-up episode with him, because I have no idea if any of them even lived. So I would be curious to find out.
Yeah.
How that worked.
Yep. So that's new. Trying to think if I have any tech news related things in my life. Not really. Nothing has changed.
Well, let me ask you. Can I ask you a non-tech question?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking behind you. I'm looking behind you, and I see some pillows. And so I want to talk to you about pillows, Colby. What kind of a pillow do you like? Let's talk about sleep a little bit here.
Sure. I like two distinct kinds of pillows. So, I need to have I'd like to have a down pillow, like an actual feathers pillow. But I do not like to put my head on the down pillow when I'm sleeping. The down pillow resides parallel to my body, next to me. And then for like arm proppage, I'm a stomach sleeper. Or like,
I got you.
Somewhere between stomach and like side. So it keeps my head, I don't know, it keeps my body propped up so I don't suffocate myself or something. But then I like just like regular, like nondescript pillow material that's kind of sturdy. And like, cause my head needs to be like up. Like I need some head support. Because if
right, so you're not going super soft. You want kind of like a medium firm.
That's the reason I don't like to sleep on down pillows, because my head ends up like basically just on the mattress, and then I wake up and my neck's like.
Now is the down pillow hot to sleep with?
I don't think so. I think down pillows are pretty like cool.
Okay,
that's been my experience.
I've never used a down pillow before.
No, because
I don't support the killing of innocent geese.
Sure. Well, I don't know if they need to kill them, but honestly, if they make pillows out of the fucking geese around here, I'm all for that. They're a menace.
Yeah, a Boston goose pillow. I can't imagine that's very good.
That's probably different geese. Yeah, I'm maybe a down alternative would be fine. I don't know. I just have the one that I have.
No. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. What is your pillow situation? Do you have one of those weird, like, my sister does product reviewing, like Wirecutter-esque product reviewing sometimes, and she did pillows once, and she has some weird pillows. Like there's one that's like it's like purple, like rubber's not what it is, but it's like a rubbery, plasticky thing with like hexagonal holes in it.
I think the purple mattress people make that one. I think it's the same thing that's in the mattress. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I did once try a whole. So I'm very similar. I'm a side to stomach sleeper. I move a lot, and I did once buy and try a full-size body pillow, like the ones that pregnant women like.
Sure.
Like the
ones that like you can wrap it
tube
around yourself. It's that big.
Yeah, it's just like a big long tube pillow, and that thing was hot, but it was kind of a heavy foam, and it was I moved too much, so it was like having just like a whole extra person in the bed that I was constantly bumping into all night. So that one got returned, but I am in the market for a new pillow. That's why I wanted to talk about this. I agree with you. I like firm, like sort of medium firm to firm, but I don't like solid chunks of foam. Because a lot of people will try and sell you that, like your Tempur-Pedic type pillow, or just a big-ass chunk of foam. I need flexibility.
Yeah.
And so I've done shredded foam before and found some success, but again, then my head just ends up collapsing. And so right now I've got a pillow that's like half foam, half kind of mid-range regular pillow. But again, it's collapsing over time. I need more support.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all of my pillows are just from Target. They're like all like threshold pillows of some variety.
Which are great pillows.
Yeah, totally fine. But then the one, I mean, I can unwrap it later and see what it is. But the one I actually got, like, we got some new pillows. What did I get? I think when I bought a new mattress a while ago, and they sent pillows with the mattress. And I tried one. It was like, I think the mattress is a Lisa mattress, and they sent us some Lisa pillows. And they were too squishy. and I just went back to my, like, 8-year-old Threshold pillow from Target that I got that one time. That is the correct consistency. It's probably not good to have the same pillow for 8 years, but I have.
Well, so I was kind of, I did go to the wire cutter and go to the care and maintenance. I was curious if they say in here how long you should own a pillow for. But do you ever wash, I'm not putting you on the hot seat, I swear. Do you ever, like, wash your pillow?
No. Can you even do that? I have
That's
like...
what I'm wondering. So
I have, obviously I wash my pillowcases, and I also have, like, an allergy cover around the pillow. Mm-hmm. So, that's like, good. I wash those sometimes. But I've never washed the pillow itself.
Yeah, foam pillows you can, but according to the wire cutter, you can wash a down pillow.
Wild.
You can put it in the washing machine with, like, certain settings.
Maybe I should just do that. What about, like, a regular pillow? Like, not down, but, like... like, just stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't... I can only read so much as I scroll, but it alternative down, yeah, you can, which I think is what they call kind of just normal pillows these days. But I think you're right. And I have the same cover, like around my pillows, and it does make a big difference in keeping them clean.
That's cool.
I will say. Yeah, no, I'm thinking I might go back. Now, have you heard about this thing, the adjustable pillows?
No.
Basically, what it is they send you... It's sort of just a hollow cover, and then they send you a bunch of different thin pillows. And so some might be softer or firmer, some might be foam, a lot of foam, a little foam, and then you mix and match them inside the cover. So one side of your pillow might be soft, and the other side might be firm. They're essentially adjustable, so you can put in as much or as little as you want.
That's interesting. Do you have to buy all of the bits separately? Do you get like a kit? Pillow kit.
Let's see. So this is from Sleep Number, recommended by the wire cutter. And it does not clearly state. Of course not. Ultimate. Here we go. 3 removable inserts. 1 to 2 inserts for stomach sleepers. 2 to 3 inserts for back or side sleepers.
That's cool. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, they just slip in and out.
Yeah. Pillow technology.
Yeah, I gotta go pillow show. I'll have to circle back on the show if I find anything, because currently my pillow hasn't lived up to my lofty expectations.
Yeah, I get that. That's one of those things that I just dread having to buy new ones of, because I know I'm going to be disappointed.
Well, and you gotta... The problem is also pillows are a difficult thing to, like, buy and return if you don't like.
Right.
You know, you gotta find... Because no one wants a returned pillow, so you gotta find somewhere that not only will return it, but will give you a decent amount of time to try it.
Yeah, right. I also hate ordering things online if I think there's a good chance that I'm gonna return it. I don't know why. I know that's unreasonable, but I'm just terrible about returning online stuff. So how do you buy things you have a reasonable expectation of returning? I just don't buy them. Problem solved.
So you got to be really confident when you buy something, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I do a lot of agonizing.
Oh, buddy, you gotta... No. Returning online's never been easier than it is today.
I know. The thing, I don't know if this happens where you are, Sean, but the thing that always gets me is when, like, you get something, you get a delivery, and it comes, like, FedEx, and then the return is a different delivery company. Like, it has, like, a built-in... I did this with SodaStream canisters. I got some SodaStream canisters. They were delivered by UPS, and then you pull off the tag, and you have a return label right there to send your empty ones back, and that was USPS. Very confusing.
That's wild.
One time,
that's wild.
I think that happened with an iPhone one time, and I knew that it was delivered UPS, and I just assumed it would also be returned by UPS, and I went to UPS and gave them the package, and they were like, "This says FedEx on it. You have to go somewhere else." Like, ... idiot.
I hate that.
Hate that. I just didn't know it came UPS.
Yeah, you got to check the label carefully, or you will look like a fool at the counter. I'm not in your shoes. I'm not a big city liver like you are. I think if I was, though, I would probably lean hard into a P.O. box. Because I would think that would be, especially a place that not only has a P.O. box, but that will also ship stuff in and out. Because I would think that would be, now of course then you have to go somewhere to get the stuff, but I would think that would be the safest and most convenient way to get packages and mail.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I think all of them have, well, there's no like FedEx location nearby. But there is obviously the post office has P.O. boxes, and UPS, the UPS store by here also has like boxes that you can get. I never considered that. It's not, the package situation is not too bad because I'm usually here.
Right, that's true. Yes, that's true. That is true. No, I mean, when I'm shipping stuff out, there's a place called, let me give a shout out to a great local business, Agawam Pack and Ship in Agawam, Massachusetts. But it is a locally owned business that has P.O. Box, but does shipping of all FedEx, UPS, USPS. They'll ship everything. And so anytime I mail anything out or I do returns or anything, I always go right there because then it's like agnostic and they just take care of it and they're very nice people.
See, that's dope.
That would be the sweet spot.
If there was a place like that, I would totally do that. But
yeah.
Well, I never considered that a place like this might exist, so I don't know. But maybe I'll have to look it up.
Man, is this our $1 million startup idea for millennials who don't want to deal with mail?
No mail.
So we work for mail.
We post.
I like that. Nice. This is good. Don't steal our idea, people. Colby, any more banter, or should we check out the very limited amount of news in the rundown since it's a holiday weekend?
Let's do it.
And nobody wanted to.
Technology.
I will jump in here and say, Colby, we're going to have a gangbuster show next week. Because on Monday of next week is the WWDC keynote, which means Monday night we will actually have the news to talk about on the day it happens. Thank you, Apple. Tim Cook finally answered my letters. And it's going to be great. We're going to get a lot of awesome news. We can talk about a little bit of the preview of that if you want, or we can talk about some other stuff as well. But just beware. Be sure to come back next week. It's going to be a big show.
Yeah, I think we should talk about the rumors.
All right. I have got no problem with that. WWDC 2022 being held all next week with the keynote being on the 6th, which is Monday, which is pretty exciting. Let's talk about some of the rumors, starting with iOS 16. This is from MacRumors.com. There have been a lot of things going around. A big one is interface tweaks. Supposedly this fall we may see an iPhone with a hole punch display instead of a bar at the top. So the camera will be either a single hole or it'll be under the glass, which may adjust some of the tweaks in the interface. But I doubt they're going to announce that at WWDC if they don't have a phone to show. So that could be a piece of it. Improvements to notifications, updated health app, including medicine management that will have users scanning their pill bottles into the app and helping them track that they're taking their pills, which I think is pretty cool and exciting. There are rumors that we will finally get the peer-to-peer Apple Pay, where I tap your phone and I pay you on Apple Pay, which is pretty cool. There also might be a buy now, pay later feature for Apple Pay, which customers, if you pay with Apple Pay, you can pay in installments over time, launching potentially later this year. There may also be a hardware subscription programs that will let customers pay a monthly fee for an iPhone, iPad, or Mac, paying by the month instead of for the device up front, which is similar to what you do for an iPhone now, but that could be extended to iPad or Mac.
Yeah.
I can go through more, but any of that exciting?
The subscription computer sounds stupid, but I almost, I don't know. I don't know if I would try it. Because I have this, I guess it probably depends how much it ends up being per month. But, like, I do the thing where, like, you get a computer and then, I don't know, it's like, when do you get a new computer? Like, I have the thing that I also struggle with this because, like, I have a work computer that's, like, new and fancy and does all the things, but, like, I really shouldn't do not work stuff on my work computer. That's not what work computers are for. I probably could. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, but, like, I shouldn't. So then
You're such an ethical man.
Right. Very ethical. But my... So my non-work computer now just feels so slow, and it gets so hot. So hot.
Yeah.
When I try and do anything. Even like, oh my god, just trying to... Sean, there's an update for the silly, like, admin thing, the admin software that the Don't Panic website uses, which I'm trying to get because I think it'll be nice. Because allegedly it's supposed to have like a phone layout that works on your phone, so we'll be able to update Don't Panic on the go. Anyways, I was trying to do that on my stupid computer. It kept burning my legs because it's this summer and I had shorts on. But it's like, do I want to buy a whole new computer? Like no. Does that feel reasonable? No. But like, should I? Maybe. But maybe I should just do this. I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, but then...
Go ahead.
You know, I guess there's two ways they treat this, right? Like, your current iPhone, you can do in monthly installments, but it's a loan. So you're not really... You're not renting the device, per se. You're just paying off a loan. It sounds to me like this is not going to be that. If it is that, that's fine. It's not very exciting to me. But the idea of it's X number of dollars per month, and we give you a computer, and if you stop paying it, we take the computer back. That's kind of wild to me. I think that math has to add up. But I'm just trying to think, like, if you came to me with if I had an old phone and an old computer, and you said, Sean, which is more important you have the newest version of between your phone and your computer, I'd probably say the computer. Because I don't ever notice, when I upgrade to a new iPhone, do I notice a performance difference? Not really. And if I do, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
On a computer, like you mentioned, where you're doing more intense stuff, I literally was exporting some video out of Premiere the other day on my work computer, and someone called me on Teams, and they're like, Sean, are you, like, out walking or something? Like, what's with all the wind noise? And I'm like, it's the Mac. Literally the fan on the Mac. I'm exporting. It was so loud. And so I get the idea, but I also don't think... You're right. When do you determine when do you get... Do you really want a new computer every year?
Right.
Every 2 years?
I think that's part of the question, too. Like, what is the interval? Like, is it a 1 year? Like with the phone, it's like after a year, you can upgrade your phone. And after 2 years, if you don't upgrade after 2 years, you just, like, you've paid off your phone and now it's your phone. But, like, right. Is the interval the same? Because, I mean, that's going to be way more than, like, whatever, like, $40 a month the phone is. Which seems crazy. But I just don't know. I don't know.
But I also wonder if it gets more people to buy Macs. Because I do think... I don't know of anyone in the history of cell phones who's ever paid full price for one of these things. They're always on some kind of contract or plan or loan or monthly installment or whatever, whether it's through Apple or their carrier. Very few people. A computer you have to pay outright. And these computers, they're not cheap. $1,000+ computers.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's somebody out there who's like, well, I just use my phone or maybe an old iPad and that's my computer, but gee, at insert dollar amount here per month, I could have a computer I could do more stuff on, and it's not $1,000 up front.
Sure, yeah.
That, I think, opens up a whole more casual computing. Of course, I think that then computes with iPad, but also having a $1,000 iPad Pro on a monthly installment accomplishes the same thing.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it's probably, in a world where it's successful, it's probably good for Apple in more people are on more recent hardware. And I'm sure they already are doing, they do all their recycling and stuff. So, an interesting idea. If it happens, I'm curious. But we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. The math's got to add up. I think that's the thing at the end of the day. WatchOS 9, new power-saving mode, prolonging the battery, which is pretty cool. Also planning to expand atrial fibrillation detection, and we'll also add more workout types and metrics. I guess all of that's fine. iPad OS, not a lot. That's new there. And then there's the Reality OS. Did you see this trademark filing the other day? I know you keep an eye on the trademark filings.
I do. I have it emailed to me every morning, the new trademark filings.
This is my man. You're on it. No, a trademark filing was noticed for called Reality OS. It hasn't been officially filed by Apple, but it was filed off by a one-off LLC that everyone thinks belongs to it, and it was filed around the world on June 8th, which is when it becomes active, which is the week of WWDC, for wearable computer hardware. And as I roll into that, lots of rumors. We may see an AR/VR headset, mixed reality, if you will, from Apple. MacRumors.com, again, has a whole list of bullet points that they expect the device to have. I will read through some of them. A wraparound VR headset look similar to the Oculus Quest, using an Apple Watch-style strap and a soft mesh around the eyes. 2 high-resolution micro OLED displays, super fast chip, bigger than the M1, over a dozen cameras for tracking hand movements and viewing the outside world, eye tracking for controls and features based on eye movements, gesture-based controls, a dedicated app store, and an over $3,000 price tag on this bad boy.
Nice. Basically an Oculus Quest.
It kind of is. It kind of is with a little, if these renderings are accurate, with basically an Apple Watch band going around your head. I mean, it looks just like that. It's very interesting.
It seems like it would hurt your hair.
Yeah, lots of pinching opportunities.
Right. What do you think, Sean? Is now the time? Is it going to happen?
They got to roll it out at some point. My guess is I don't know if we see hardware. It might be like a here's the preview, you can't buy it for a year type thing. I don't. Do I think it's going to be Google Glass style and it's available outside? Go grab one. I don't know about that. I mean, obviously this is a developer device. That this is a novelty, if you will, to kick it off. I think if it has everything it's promising, obviously you and I aren't going to buy one, but I think it's certainly a curious and interesting device. Obviously, their big thing is they need developers on board. Software for this thing does not exist.
Right.
Although theoretically it does, because they've been building AR into their products for years. But this is a developer device, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw it. It really wouldn't. They got to talk about it. At minimum, I think we get Reality OS. Do we actually get the headset? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about time.
What do you think? Are you excited? Will you spend over $3,000 on this thing?
If it's cool, probably not. Let's be honest. No. I don't know, like, maybe if it's, like, different from the things we have right now, you know?
If it looks like the rendering, it looks super cool. I mean, the Apple Watch headband, maybe not, but the actual visor part of it looks really cool.
Right. So slick and, like, small. Like, it seems
and I do love the idea... I do love the idea of, theoretically, all of the cameras and the sensors, 4 3D sensing modules for detecting hand gestures and nearby objects through spatial detection, hand gestures, eye tracking, a wearable device connected to the headset. There's all these rumors about how you're going to interact with this thing. To me, that is really, combined with these like insane processors, is pretty exciting to me, even as somebody who won't own one of these for probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem, based purely on how not hot my computer gets, it seems like plausible that you could strap one of these things to your face and it won't, like, singe your eyebrows.
Won't light you on fire? Yeah, which would be good. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not an expert.
Right. It sounds ideal.
I just don't know exactly what they're going to do or say.
It's the reason we tune in, right?
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. It's pretty exciting. Other hardware, we may also see some Macs, including an updated version of the Mac Pro with some new chips and other things, but not expected to see much more hardware than that. So, could be a pretty soft event. I think AR could be the real sort of, blow it out announcement.
Right. I feel like if they're talking about that, that's the thing.
You're going to want to focus on that. Now, one interesting, Colby, is that there's rumor going around that Apple is planning major enhancements to the lock screen, including wallpapers that have widget-like capabilities. So potentially adding some kind of widgets to the lock screen. And also, iOS 16 builds will include future support for always-on displays coming on future iPhones. Do you have any interest in an always-on display?
I don't know. I did like, if you recall way back in the day, probably like year 1 or year 2 of Don't Panic, I had that Motorola phone that had a...
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't, like, always on exactly, but it had a little, like, cutout in the middle where, like, stuff would be there. And I didn't hate that. It was kind of nice. It was cool. I guess there are a lot of times where I'm always, like, booping my phone to see what time it is. It'd be cool if the time was always there, if nothing else. I'd use that all the time.
Yeah, I would think it would have to be pretty customizable.
Yeah.
You know, what I don't want is this, like, always on showing all my crap all the time. Like, that I don't see. I already have a bunch of notifications, so that I don't need.
Right.
And honestly, do you use widgets in iOS? I really never do.
I mean, I have some widgets. You don't have any widgets?
I don't. No, I have...
Got other widgets.
And even, like, the one widget... I have a battery. I have a battery widget, and I don't ever look at it. I should just delete it. No, I don't use any widgets. Even in my... You know when you, from your home screen, you swipe to the right, and then it kind of is like the search/widget view? I don't even have any widgets. It's
just
blank.
empty?
It's just empty.
I think you can put widgets there, Sean.
You can. I just haven't. Because I don't... There are no widgets I need.
I like the...
I use apps.
I kind of like the smart... There's a widget that is like... It just picks a widget to show. That's its job. It's like a Siri suggestion for widgets.
The smart stack, yeah.
Yeah. I think you can also, like, you can pick what will come up in the stack, too. It's not just, like, a total dice roll. But I actually like that one. I think it does like an alright job. Several of my widgets are just those smart stacks.
See, I think my number one use for a widget would be shortcuts. I think if I really invested in shortcuts and could have a bunch of shortcut widgets where I could just tap to do a bunch of actions, I think that would probably be better. But in general, there's not... And most of the widgets that I've tried in the apps I use, when I interact with them, it just takes me into the app anyway. But most of them are not actionable within the app itself. Like I don't need apps to like visually give me information. I want to interact with apps, with widgets, and there just aren't a lot that I get that from. So, kind of a miss for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think the widgets I do have, I don't think I would want them on my lock screen.
That's the other thing. Yeah. But I would like... I mean, even like an app shortcut or something, again, using that Siri, when your phone is unlocked and you go to that, you go to the search panel, it'll do the suggestions of the apps and the actions you should do. I think that on a home screen could be really interesting, where it's like a single touch to restart a podcast I was listening to, or go into the app Siri thinks I'm going to use, or, it says here, continue from Sean's MacBook Pro in Chrome, and I can hand it off. Like, I think that kind of stuff, one tap from the home screen, could be interesting. I just don't know how necessary it is.
Definitely not necessary.
No.
Yeah.
No, none of it is.
Yeah.
And yet we talk about it.
That's what we're here for.
And by the way, speaking of things that are unnecessary, let's get into picks. It's part of the show where each of us bring something we want to share with the world. We got two wildly different picks this week, Colby. I'm going to go first because I already teased what it's going to be. Colby, if you're looking to manage audio and video for your next event, I cannot recommend enough the Roland VR4 HD high-definition AV mixer. It's got, 6 channels of audio input. It's got 4 HDMI inputs. You're mixing the video, you're mixing the audio, all in one device, outputting to HDMI. There's a USB out for live streaming. This is essentially what I ran my entire event and focus group on. So it's great. It's very common to find an audio mixer or a video mixer. This is one of the few that does both all in one. 6 input, 4 channel. It all scales everything, matches with all the digital audio mixing, a lot of effects, transitions, those sorts of things, with lots of output options as well. Now, I will tell you, this is about a $3,000 piece of equipment, but if you happen to have $3,000 lying around and need to run an event, this thing is cool as hell and a lot of fun to use.
It looks wild.
This is great. I literally bought like one of those Pelican hard cases for it, so I get to like pop it open and open it up, and
that's cool.
It's very, very cool.
Do you handcuff it to yourself?
I should, because God forbid this thing ever walks away. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. But it's now I just got to find more reasons to use it.
I like it. More events. Can we use it for the show? Is that acceptable?
No, God, it would be cool. I wish I could. The problem is it's really for in person. Like this is because I read a lot of reviews and stuff. This is like the number one customer for this device, believe it or not, is churches who are producing their events.
Sure.
And I want to call them sessions. What do you call it at a church? A mass, if you will, depending on your faith.
Sure.
And this is perfect for that because they get everyone mic'd, they got a couple cameras, they stream it out. That's really what this is for concerts,
right.
Conferences, that kind of stuff.
Laura's parents, for like church holidays, often like play music in church things, whatever I guess masses, and like they're like at the big church in like Minneapolis, they're like live streamed, so they're probably doing exactly what you said. And there's always like swooping, like they cut to like the band, and then they cut to like the people in the audience, and then they cut to like the church guy, and the
church. We're so good at religion.
Yeah,
the church guy at the church session,
right?
Yeah, no, if you go to any kind of AV forum for stuff like this, it's all churches.
Interesting.
All of them like, how do you do it? How do you, what, hey, let's different equipment and stuff, because this thing, it just makes it so easy for, you don't really have to be a huge expert to figure it out.
Right.
So,
that's cool.
It's a nice piece of equipment.
Very cool.
So, something fun. Colby, you've got something very similar to what I picked. Tell us about it.
I started watching I was perusing for a new show to watch, and there's a show on HBO called Snowpiercer, which is based on the same content as the movie of the same name, which I saw a long time ago. And it's quite a movie. It's worth a watch. But the show is like conceptually the same as the movie, but like different in that it's, there are 3 seasons of it. I watched the first season. But it's good. It's like the premise of the show is the world has ended in climate change was happening and people did something crazy to try and fix climate change, and they ended up freezing the world. So the entire world is a frozen wasteland, and the only people left alive are on this train called Snowpiercer that goes around the entire world. And that's all it does, is it goes around the entire world. And you can't leave the train because it's too cold. It's too cold outside to leave the train. You instantly die. And that's the premise of the train is 1,000 cars long. And the premise of the show is the people living on this train, and they have a very stark class based society, mirroring passenger classes on the train. There's first class that are super rich people, all the way down to people in the very last couple cars of the train who are stowaways who weren't supposed to be there and are basically the most marginalized people on the train who have no rights, and they have no windows, and they live in the dark in the back of this train. It's kind of dumb.
This is a sitcom, right?
Yeah, right. Super, super funny. But
yeah,
the star is he was in Hamilton at some point. Davy Diggs. He's I don't know. He's good. And the lady, there's a lady, an actress who I don't really know her name, but I like. She's sort of she runs the train, but she's kind of a bad guy, but it's also complicated. It's very interesting. I think it's pretty well done.
Jennifer Connelly,
yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed season 1.
And the villain is the wonderful Sean Bean.
Well, so Sean Bean, I'm pretty sure is season 2 appearance. He's not in season 1, so don't get too excited. But I don't know what Sean Bean's going to do. I just know that he's coming. But yeah, it's good. It's worth a watch.
Wonderful. Yes, I believe its 3rd season is its last. They have announced already, so awesome.
Nice.
Very good. Snowpiercer. Check it out. Streaming on HBO Max or airing on TNT. Wonderful. Gosh, Colby, what a great show. What a great time we've had here.
We did it.
We sure did. Anything else you'd like to say or do, Mr. Colby, before we wrap up here for the evening?
No, I'm quite satisfied.
We aim to please. I certainly hope people come back next week for our big WWDC roundup. Colby, I believe this is our 9th WWDC we've covered on this show.
That adds up.
I will double check that in time for next week, but I believe it's 9. We're not next year. I think it's 10. So we're old pros at this point. So We'll definitely have a lot to talk about. Be sure to go to the website don'tpanic.io and check out this episode. All the episodes, links to the picks are there. And of course, subscribe wherever you get podcasts. I will very briefly tease Up for Debate. Last week on the show, we discussed all the films coming out in theaters this summer, and we picked what movie franchise we're going to be watching this summer, which is very exciting. Colby, would you like to know what the theme of summer 2022 is?
Yes, please.
I will spoil it, but that's okay. Still listen to the episode because I pitch a lot of crazy ideas. But this summer we're doing video game movies. Super Mario Brothers, Street Fighter, Tomb Raider, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, all the way up to probably Uncharted, may be the most recent.
Oh, yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, maybe. I don't have a full list yet, but all summer long we're going to do the best and the worst of video game movies and try to determine once and for all, can a video game make a good movie?
Angry Birds movie?
Angry Birds movie. Colby, we'd love to have you on. If there's a particular video game movie you want to watch and talk about, you let me know.
All right.
And we'd love to have you on, because there is quite a wide range.
That's true.
Assassin's Creed movie?
Right. Resident Evil.
Absolutely.
I guess there were a lot, weren't there? So many video games.
It's a big list. We're trying to keep it like 8 movies, so we're definitely not doing all of them. 8 to 10, maybe. So we're gonna pick a list and narrow it from. Oh no, actually, now that I remember from the episode, we're actually only doing, because there were so many. We're only doing older ones. So we're doing like 1999 and previous, I think, or something like that. So it's all the bad early ones. Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, the original, Street Fighter, Tomb Raider. I'm sure there are others, but it's not going to be pleasant.
Amazing. Sounds delightful.
Come back and check that out. And then this week we're doing our summer book list as well. We're going to pick some books we're going to read. So a lot of us talking about things we're going to do in the future, so I'm sure check that out for debate or wherever you get your podcasts. That is it, though. We're going to wrap it up here. Hopefully Dan will be back with us next week for an Apple-centric episode. But until then, he's Colby and I'm Sean. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time for another great episode of Don't Panic.